I'm here for my daughter Josie. She is 3 years old. She was diagnosed at age 19 months. She started out having seizures, and we were rushed from basically the doctor's office, our local doctor, to Evansville, and then we ended up at Riley. And then after about 2 weeks there, we had an MRI, and they found the Chiari malformation. After about a month of being in the hospital, she really didn't have symptoms. Josie mainly had some seizures going on at that time because she was so young. She was just completely almost like an infant again. I mean, she was a normal kind of toddler at an age, and she just kind of was lifeless. We just couldn't get her out of bed. She wouldn't sit or hold her head up, or she was constantly having the seizures. They had to sedate her for 2 weeks until the medicine, like just some seizure medicine, would start working. But after the MRI, we found, they connected us with a neurosurgeon at Riley, and she at first told us we could have surgery in maybe a couple months down the road, and then came back a couple days later and said that she needed to have the surgery like within a week. We got moved to the rehab floor at Riley, and Josie pretty much had to relearn to do everything. We had a feeding tube, she couldn't eat. They found out that she couldn't swallow liquids, she couldn't eat food right, and it was because of all the pressure from the brain. So she's now 3, almost 3.5, and she still does not eat correctly. We do not have the feeding tube no more, but she does have to have her liquids like thickened, and she doesn't drink normally like we do. So we still have that obstacle. We did rehab for 3 months at Riley every day, and we stayed there as an inpatient. And as pretty much the last 2 weeks, she finally took some steps with the walker. We have done rehab since we've been home. We do physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy every week, 3 days a week for 3 hours.
I'm here today as a Chiarian. 9 years ago, 10 years ago, I moved here from Los Angeles and began a friendship with a woman named Monica Greist. And Monica had all these symptoms that, to me, just added up to a condition that I had been diagnosed with, and it was Chiari malformation. So in getting to know Monica and urging her to get an MRI and push her doctors for more answers, she ended up getting an MRI and found out that she indeed has Chiari malformation. And to thank me for helping her answer this lifelong question of what the heck's wrong with me, she said, "I signed us up to do something." And so the Chiari Walk was born. So I was decompressed in September of 2009, followed that up 4 months later with a head-on car wreck. My memory was horrible. I would forget that I asked a question, and I would ask that question 3 and 4 times, and the boys would get so angry and frustrated with me because they're like, "Mom, you already asked me that." And so I spent a lot of days crying and quiet because I just felt stupid. Forgetting words. I had made supper one night and I forgot the word for plate.
We're trying to raise awareness, trying to raise money for research. See, that's the Chiari thing. I can't come up with what I'm trying to say. You know, so we can meet other people that have it, so we, as Chiarians, know that we're not crazy and there are other people out there like us. So it helps us feel normal, even though our bodies are not normal. I was going to say, I've had symptoms since I was a kid, now that I think back on it, but I wasn't diagnosed until 2008. The doctor thought I had Meniere's disease, took me for an MRI, came back, he said, "I've got good news, I've got bad news." He said, "Good news, you don't have Meniere's, bad news, you have Chiari." And the funny part is, not really funny, but he didn't even know what it was. He knew that it was bad news, but he didn't know what it was. My family doctor, who I got later, didn't know what it was. So my pain doctor, because I've had 3 back surgeries and more to come, he knows because he had other patients, and so he did some research. So he knows a little more about it, but he's not like, you know, a specialist. I'm really scared of the surgery, even though it's just me. That doesn't mean anybody else needs to be, it's just me. But I do need to go to the doctor, and because over the years I've gotten worse. Like during the walk a while ago, I was walking next to a lady, and I just kept bumping into her because I get so unbalanced. And I'm like, "I'm so sorry." And she goes, "We're Chiarians, I got it, I know, I understand." I've heard good stories, I've heard bad stories, and to me, it's until I get a little worse, I don't think I will, because I don't want to take a chance of not being here for my husband or my son or my grandchildren.
They turned into birds. Yeah, get all turned.
If you're a Chiarian, you know how bad it can get. Debilitating migraines and hearing loss. I have hearing loss, vision loss, the unbalancedness, the pain, I mean, just so many things. And they tell me it's related to my back issues as well, as to why I've had 3 back surgeries and other back issues. And it's just a lot, you know, like if you have, say, you need knee surgery, it only affects your knee. This affects everything, you know, and if you have a debilitating headache, you can't function.